Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cat Lady Podcast. I'm Andrea, also known as the Cat Lady. That's C-A-T-T, craft all the things. Welcome. I know a lot of you probably didn't expect to see me again, really, because I've been so flip-floppy and wishy-washy on what's going on. But here we are, we're back. It's episode 56. I'm not ready to throw in the towel and give up yet, so if you're new, thanks for coming and checking me out. Like I said, the last few episodes have been kind of, not so great. I've been kind of debating on stopping the podcast, but we're going forward. I have a lot of very nice people that are very supportive, so I thank my solid fan base that come in and tune in all the time and have given me a lot of support to keep going and enjoy watching. So thank you guys. I appreciate all the kind feedback and comments. So if you're new, just maybe go back a few other episodes and see what I'm all about, or this will be a pretty standard format episode, I think. So yeah, so this is, again, if you're new, this is a fiber related podcast: knitting, spinning. Here's my wheel. A little bit of crochet I'm dabbling in, some sewing. I used to do some DIY stuff, but I haven't done anything in a while, and I'm always looking for new crafts to try out when I have the time. So, but primarily I'm a knitter and a spinner. So this week we'll have a little bit of podcast news to go over, some knitting, spinning, a little bit of stash, and I also like to talk about health and wellness, like fitness stuff, because I'm trying to be more fit and active. Eventually I'm going to hopefully eat better, but so far that's not going so well. So and then I'll have a little review of, well, typically I call it the weekend review, but it's going to be like a month in review. But don't worry, I didn't do anything this month, so there's not much to review. So let's just go into podcast news. Last call for prizes. So I did a Podiversary giveaway, so I've been doing this a little over a year, but that was in March. So the giveaway was drawn in March, I think, or opened up in March, maybe April. Anyways, I drew winners. I didn't hear back. I drew some more winners. I didn't hear back from a couple of those. I did another giveaway in there, so last call for these giveaways, and if not, I might just open up a brand new, like, second chance giveaway and to give away the unclaimed prizes giveaway, something. But the first one was the Podiversary. So I drew Frog Princess 21CA for the DPN holder and stitch markers, and I drew Finers 4 for the Star Wars little lunchbox, which had some stuff in it, fun stuff in it, and some yarn in there. So Frog Princess 21CA and Finers 4. Please contact me for your prizes. And then we had a giveaway for a skein of yarn from the Happy Little Dye Pot, and that was Lisa911. So Lisa911, if you tune in, I will contact me and claim your prize. Again, I don't ear burn people and tag people because I want people who watch to win. And I know things get busy and life's hectic. Obviously, I'm well aware of that. I have not watched a lot of podcasts myself lately, but I do try to watch if I've entered a contest. So I don't expect people to tag me if I win. So I apologize if that bothers anybody, but hey, it's my podcast. So I will do a second giveaway if nobody claims their prize before the next time I record, which might be next week. I'm going to try to get back on a normal schedule, so we'll see. But it might be 2 weeks. I can't do this month thing. There's just too much. I have not too much stuff now. I was kind of overwhelmed with too much stuff. Every week, sometimes I don't feel like I have enough, so maybe every 2 weeks is good, but I need to get it scheduled. I just need to schedule it so it becomes habit again, because it was habit and then I kind of fell out of that. So in other podcast news, congratulations to Jessica from Sarah Nova Crafts Podcast. She just released her second pattern on Ravelry. It's Johanna Designs. It's the Harvest Grain socks. I'll put in a picture of that. And it's on sale until July 3rd, so go check it out, 50% off. Beautiful sock pattern. So congrats, Jessica. And another shout out to a new podcast that is started. And it is our lovely Sarah from the Canadian Knitter Podcast, which she's kind of stepping away from that for a bit. Maybe not, maybe permanently, maybe not. You never know with Sarah. But she's joined forces with Amanda, who was from the Stitching You and More podcast, and two of our other groupie yarny friends, Brandy and Tanya, and they have started the After Hours Knitting Group. And it is a live podcast on Saturdays. And if you check out, I think they have an Instagram page. I still have to go look that up. They have a Ravelry group, but they will announce when they're close to recording. So, you know, about an hour before they record, they'll say, hey, we're going to record, and you can tune in live on YouTube. So that's a pretty cool thing. And just kind of a group of friends chatting and showing what they're working on. They have 2 episodes up already, so go check out their YouTube page. And another shout out, I guess you call. The Canada Knit Along starts today. Today's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to all my Canadian watchers. With the Two Tangled Skeins podcast, so Sue Lynn and Selma are initiated the Canada Knit Along, and I think there's a bunch of other podcasts that have joined in. There's a bunch of prizes donated from Canadian vendors and coupon codes and all sorts of it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So go check it out. Go check out the Two Tangled Skeins podcast and check out the Canada Knit Along. And I do have some Canadian yarn I could use, so I need to figure out, now that I'm actually kind of caught up on projects. I do have a lot of whips that are kind of hibernating, but yeah, whatever, we're just going to ignore those. So maybe I'll join in the Canada Knit Along. And I think it runs until September, so it's kind of a drawn out couple month thing. So that's it for news, except for one other, I guess Warrior Camp kind of fits into my podcast news. So Warrior Camp is the knit along that me and Ren from Strong Girls Knits podcast and Laura from Desert Knits podcast are all hosting. It's a 2-month knit along, craft along, fitness along, really. So we have 1 more month left. So we started in June, we're going to run through July, I think, so ending August, end of July, I think is what we decided. Who knows, maybe we'll extend another month. So it's going pretty well. First month has been really nice. Lots of encouraging people, trying to get active and work on their craft goals. Really nice group of people. I'm enjoying this very much, and it's just nice to be able to vent your frustrations with your fitness goals and work on your craft goals and I don't know, encourage each other. So it's been nice. And again, it's open to anybody at almost any time. So each week we set a new goal, a new craft goal and a new fitness goal. So if you want to jump in, we're going to open the thread this weekend to set the next week's goal. So come check out our Ravelry group, Warrior Camp 2016. And this week my goals, I'll tell you what my goals were this week. My craft goal was to record my podcast. So look at that. I am succeeding in my craft goal, and my fitness goal is to complete my 15-minute daily sessions from the Betty Rocker, and I'll talk about that later in the health and wellness portion, which, okay, so I'm kind of cheating. I have completed every single Betty Rocker workout that she has sent me, but some of them I've doubled up on. So, like, so instead of 15 minutes, I did 30 minutes. But hey, I did them, so I'm going to count it. I'm not eligible for points anyway, so whatever. So that is it for that. So again, if you want to check out Warrior Camp, come see our Ravelry group, or tag me, message me, whatever, for any information, and come get fit and get crafty. So on to knitting. I have a substantial amount of finished objects in a month's time. I should, right? And a lot of them I don't have with me, so I will just show up quick pictures of what they are. But to start with, I'm going to go in order of when I finish them. My first up is, which you saw this on the last podcast, my Neon Now socks that I made for Emily. This is the Plymouth Yarns Neon Now in the yellow mix. I use size 00 carbons. And I'm back to holding up stuff. And I'm back to using my phone because, you know, I just need to make this easy. I'm making it too complicated. So here are these. My Neon Now socks that I made for Emily. And yeah, I put heels. This is the first pair of socks I put heels in for her, and I think they're just much better than the tube socks, to be honest. They just stretched out so funny on her feet, I felt, and she's got big feet, so she'd grow out of them so fast. So these should fit for a while. And, you know, I know they have pink in them, but I bet you David will wear them when he's older, too. So maybe if they hold up, then David can wear them. And I don't know if I said those are, I used my size 00 carbons, which kind of act like zeros. They yeah, they're interesting. I like them. So my second finished object was my awesome breast form, my first order, and I talked about the awesome breast form. Did I talk about it last time? I think I did. It was a work in progress. And so this is a group that makes breast prosthetics for cancer patients, or, you know, women who've had mastectomies. I can't talk today, really. Mastectomies. And so that I signed up, became a volunteer, and that was my first order, so I put up a picture of it. This was a size C with nipple. They come with or without. It's the, you know, choice of whoever's requesting it. And they get to choose like a skin, like generic color wise. So, you know, skin tone, light, skin tone, dark, medium, wild and crazy, which is just colors, pastels. And then as a volunteer, I purchase the yarn, I make the form, I ship it out all free of charge. So it's really, really nice. Really nice group. US 4s, I love this cotton in the antique cream color for the front. I can't remember what the wild and crazy was in the back. The variegated. Next was finished object, mini Mr. Buns. If you've been following me for a long time, you've probably seen or heard me talk about Mr. Buns. I should have grabbed David's, but he's napping anyways. And he sleeps with Mr. Buns every night and every day. But here's a picture of it. And this was for my neighbor, one of the women in the neighborhood who's having a baby. We met at the bus stop. So I'm not really friends with her, but, you know, we chat at the bus stop all the time. And she was having a little boy, so I made a blue little Mr. Buns. And this is US 9 needles and the Bernat blanket. Solids in country blue. And then, next finished object was the awesome breast forms, again, my second order. So it was a set of size C's with no nipple. And same, I love this cotton antique cream for the front, I can't remember the back. And US 4s, double pointed needles. The first one I did, the US 4s were a magic loop. And then I ended up going and buying a set of double points because I don't that I don't like magic loop, I just feel like I'm spending too much time fiddling with the cord. So double points are kind of my thing, I've determined. So there's a time and a place for magic loop, of course, but yeah, if I have a choice, I'd probably go with DPNs. And oh no, I have two more. And then the one I actually can show you, that I don't have to show you a picture, is my Yarn Twinsies Knit Along socks. Number 2. So when Jen came to visit, who is the Uncreative Crafter from the Uncreative Crafter podcast, when she came to visit in March, I think it was, we went on a yarn crawl and we ended up picking up the same skein of yarn. It was the Regia, Arnie and Carlos design line in Star Night. And we decided that we would do a knit along and knit the socks together. And at the time, we were already knitting a pair of socks in the Madrigal colorway from Felici. So this is technically our second pair of matching socks with matching yarn. So we deemed ourselves Yarn Twinsies. And so these are my June socks. And they were, you know, finished not that long ago. So just in time for the end of June. And they're gorgeous. I love these. And they have a contrast toe heel cuff in the just Serenity Solid soft white. So it was just what I had on hand. She ended up doing a contrast toe and I thought that was a good idea. And I love it. I think they turned out nice. And look at how perfect they match. So this is my sock OCD in full effect. They match. Like, I literally like ripped out like 5 grams of yarn to get that blue stripe to start at the bottom of each one. Because the first sock I just pulled from the ball and started, and it happened to have this one little blue stripe, which I thought looked kind of cool. And so when it came to the second sock, I'm like, no, they're not going to match. Because, okay, this is only like two repeats. Like literally, this is like the repeat goes. Okay, let's say we start from this pink blotch here. The second repeat starts all the way up here. So yeah, we have 2.5 repeats, that's it. So when I had to pull out pretty much almost a whole repeat for the second sock to start. But you know, I had a lot of yarn left over. I could have went taller with these. I should have went taller with these because I like taller socks, but these are still pretty tall. So I am very happy with those. I've not worn them yet since it is summer, and I'm not really wearing a lot of heavy socks. So lastly, my finished objects, which I just completed last night, like literally at like 10 o'clock, and I don't have it because it's blocking right now, but it's my Fireplace Embers shawl by Debbie Hostas of the Never Cast Off podcast. It is using the Decadent Fibers pulled taffy. I don't think there was a colorway. It was a bargain bin find at Rhinebeck last year. US 8, and I finished, they had a knit along for the shawl that ran through June and ended June 30th, which was yesterday. And I popped it in there at like 10 o'clock last night, unblocked. I just have a picture of me wearing it. You can see, check it out on Instagram. Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook and stuff, just, you know, whatever. If you want to. I'm very active on Instagram, so the cat lady on Instagram. But it's currently blocking, so here's a picture of it blocking and a little detail shot. It's really pretty, so my original goal, I have a ton of it was an 8-ounce skein of yarn, so I have like a little less than half left. And I was gonna add another chunk to make it kind of a bigger shawl, but I'd messed up, and it was easier just to I had to like rip back a row, and then I could just finish it instead of ripping back a couple rows and adding to it. So I was happy to be done with it anyway. So it was you know, it's just nice to finish things, and it's plenty big, so. And I have no active whips. I mean, I have things that are works in progress that are, like I said, are kind of hibernating. I have my crochet Glarny square blanket. I have my time traveler socks, which I might rip out because they're on the carbon zeros, and I'm using the same stitch count that I used with the double zeros. They might be too big, so I'm undecided yet. So I gotta look at those because I'm like, I got the whole foot of one and like a toe of the other, so it's like, well, it's kind of a lot to rip out, but well, that's why it's kind of hibernating. I have my sweater that's hibernating. I have my across the pond shawl that's kind of hibernating, so. But I might pull out the across the pond soon, but today or tomorrow I have another project to start, a Yarn Twinsies Knit Along 3. We don't have, it's not the yarn that's the same this time. We are doing the same pattern, and we seem to like to do socks together. That seems to be the thing. So we are doing the Agatha socks. I'm sorry, this isn't black and white, but by the Claire from the New Hampshire Knits podcast. So there is the Agatha socks. Very pretty little detail pattern. Jen has made these before, so this is her second pair. I have not done a heel and gusset. Maybe once. Ooh. Whoa, lighting. Hello. Oh, there we go. Maybe once. I think I have once, but that was like my first pair of socks a couple years ago, and I have no recollection of that. So I'm going to follow the pattern. It's also cuffed down, so this is like way out of my comfort zone. We have cuff down, heel and gusset, and a pattern sock. So we'll see how this goes. But I know, you know, I know the size I like, because I was always afraid to do cuff down because I didn't want to run out of yarn when I get to the toe. But I'm aware of how long I like my socks now and can figure that out pretty easily. And I always have, knock on something, I almost always have a decent amount of yarn left that I should be alright. But here's the yarn I'm going to use, and actually this is part of my stash. I won this in a giveaway from the Crafty Nomad podcast. And this is the Knit Pick Stroll in the wine tasting tonal. So it's very, it's reds and purples, very pretty. And I googled, Ravelry'd some pictures of it to see how it could look in how it would look as a sock with a pattern, and we should be good. So that was that. So that's all caked up and ready to go. And it's the 1st of July, so I can start my July socks. So these will be my July socks. And that is all I have for knitting, which that was kind of a lot, right? just wait till you see spinning. I've been spinning quite a bit this month. So I have some completed things. The last that you saw that I was working on was my Fiber Addiction in the Superwash Merino Angelina blend. It's the Meat Virginia colorway, and that is completed. So it is kind of a grayish with teals and pinks and greens. And hopefully that's focusing. Probably getting too close. So it's a 2-ply. It is a light fingering, really. It's 660 yards. I'm pretty sure I counted that right. And I mean, if I look at it, there's a lot of pretty thin strands in here, so it's probably right. Which is kind of crazy, because that's a lot for me. I really feel like I should count this one more time, because I could be wrong. But I don't know, I got some really thin spots in there. Like, well, there's a lot of thin ones in there, so I don't know. I'll probably, I hate counting, but I'll count it again maybe. But that's the first one. And then next I threw on, I've been drawing from my little cup of what to spin, so I haven't been like picking, it's been random. So the next I drew was the Godiva Yarns Falkland blend, or Falkland, it's not a blend. The Godiva Yarns is the company, and this was a gift from a friend of the podcast. I'm calling this Wine and Chocolate, even though it's a little more black than brown, but you know, it's called Godiva, which is chocolate, and it kind of has wine colors. And I wanted to make, I was attempting to spin a little bit thicker, because I've been spinning all this thin, that's kind of what comes natural, so I attempted to spin more of a thicker worsted, and I did a chain ply on it, and to be honest, it was, what's going on there? Oh, there's nothing there. Oh, maybe that's supposed to be there. Anyways, the I chain plied, and boy, it was tricky to not over twist it constantly. It was kind of, and then as I'm chain plying from the bobbin, it's all twisting all over itself, which I think if I had a tensioned Lazy Kate, maybe that would have helped a bit. Which there is a way to convert my Lazy Kate into a tensioned one. I just haven't messed with it, and I don't know, still kind of hesitant to poke holes in it, but yeah, this is 124 yards, kind of a heavy worsted weight, but yeah, it turned out nice. It'll make a nice hat, or maybe some fingerless mitts. I mean, there's some really kind of funky spots in there too, but most of it turned out alright. So sorry for the lighting, you kind of see it better from a distance. So, but it's a really pretty color, very nice maroon burgundy color. And then, so I drew again for my magic cup and came up with my Fiber Nymph Dye Works with Falkland, another Falkland, so 2 Falklands in a row, which they were both enjoyable to spin. So I've never spun Falkland before, and they're soft. I mean, I could wear it as a shawl, probably. But this is the Woodland Whimsy colorway, and it was a kind of a striped braid that was pink, green, orange, orangey brown, yellow. And I did a fractal with this, so it's very Barber Pole-y. And it's basically a fractal is, and I've never knit with a fractal. I thought I did. I made one other fractal and I still haven't knit with it. I did a sample, but I just kind of remembered that the sample was the leftovers that, because it's a 2-ply. So, which here's the leftovers from this one, which not bad. So there's just like a little bit left over that I chain plied on itself, just to have, because I don't want to waste any of it. But the fractal is, so what I did is I took the whole braid and I split it in half. And then you spin 1 bobbin from that half. So you get these really long color repeats, because it's just 1 half going. Then you take the other half and you split it into like 4 or 5, and I split it into 5. So kind of pencil roving. Like you didn't even have to pre-draft them because they were so thin. And then you spin 5, your 5 splits onto a second bobbin. So then you have a bunch of shorter color repeats. And then you apply those 2 together. So essentially I have, these long repeats that will show through and I think create kind of these stripes, but then it'll be kind of variegated, speckled, I don't know. So, so yeah, I gotta find a project for this, and this is like a fingering weight, and I got 410 yards. So yeah, so there's that. And that's been up pretty fast, actually. I was kind of flew through that, so I've kind of been really digging the spinning. So it is time to draw again from my magic cup. And here is my cup, and this is my lovely mug I got from Jen. It's actually a soup mug, but it's got a nice little knitted motif on it, so it's now my spinning cup. So let's see what we're gonna spin next. Oh, that's a good one. Little Barn Studios, BFL, Rainbow on Ecstasy. And I will show you what that goodness looks like. You can get a focus, I don't know, maybe. Not like you care to see a piece of paper. I'm going to walk over there and get it and sit still. Alright, are you ready for this? This was a gift from Sarah, the Canadian knitter. We did a whole groupie swap last year, and she sent me way too much stuff, and this was one of them. And this is incredible, and I was a little bit scared to spin it because I just like, I don't know, I don't want to mess it up, but I think I'm pretty confident I can do it. So look at this. Perfect for summer, really. This is just like screams summertime fun. So here's my next spin. BFL, 100 grams. Little Barn Studios. I wonder where they're from. To look that up. I wonder if they happen to be from Canada, then this could count for well, that's probably, I don't know if spinning counts actually, but so yes, that is my next spin. And what did I do with my piece of paper? Did I throw it back in there? I did. Okay, take that out of there. So let me write that down. Well, I don't really need to write it down, but I'm going to write it down. Because I made a little line to write it down. So that's it for spinning. Yeah, I spun 3 braids in a month. That's pretty good. And Tour de Fleece is starting tomorrow, I think. I don't know if I'm going to... I might just unofficially do Tour de Fleece on my own, because I've been pretty good at almost spinning every day. So maybe I will, because last year I sort of did unofficial Tour de Fleece with Jen, which she's doing the official one, I know, with Mirkwood, I think. She just got a brand new spindle from them, and that's gorgeous. So I don't know if I really want to sign up for anything official. So if anyone's doing Tour de Fleece or wants to just spin with me, let me know, and we can just do an unofficial Tour de Fleece. So on to stash. I don't have a lot of stash, but I have a little. First, I probably like got the package like the day I recorded last month, but I participated in a yarn swap, pretty much, or yarn and needlework, I think it was called, swap through Reddit. So reddit.com, if you don't know, it's kind of a newsy, chatty, weirdy site. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not a big Redditor either, but my husband is on there all the time. And they got different subreddits, they call it. So they have a knitting one, they have I'm sure they have a crochet one, they have a video game one, they have a music one, blah, 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 everything. They have naughty things too. Like, it's not necessarily all fun and games. They have anything you can think of. They have a subreddit of people that gather and chat about a certain topic. Let's put it that way. So I joined up. My husband's like, "Oh, have you seen this?" And it was a yarn needlework exchange through Reddit. So I signed up, and it was like $20 swap. You know, you're not supposed to spend much more than $20. And then you filled out a survey. So the person I got said they wanted to learn to crochet and cross stitch. And so I sent them some standard, what did I get? Kieran, I think I got Kieran Simply Soft yarn, because I thought that was such a good beginner yarn. And some crochet hooks, and a little cross stitch kit, and then I spent some tea and some cookies. And she loved it, she thought it was a great package. And then I got my package, and I said I liked fun colors, fingering, indie dyed stuff. So she actually dyed her own yarn for me. And this is 100% Peruvian Highland wool fingering weight, approximately 440 yards. She even made her made her own labels, and she said maybe she'd consider doing an Etsy thing someday. So she called her. This was a play on her name. Her last name was like Funk or Funky or something. So Funky Yarns. So she sent 2 of those. So yeah, I got 2 of these. So I gotta find a fun project for that. Beautiful teal color. And she called it Bubblegum. So stay on the lookout for funky yarns. Maybe that'll be an up and comer. And then she made me a set of these really pretty stitch markers. So yeah, it was a really nice handmade gift. So I was very pleased with that. And then I won from the Crafty Nomad again. So she had just sent me that lovely bag and stuff, and then I won, which you saw the yarn. So I won the yarn, and I got this little storage bag. So it's from Michael's, but real pretty bag. Dandelion poofs on there, so I haven't opened it yet because I wanted to show it off. The packaging, but I guess we can now open it. Oh, it's got little holes in it, so you can string your yarn out of it. Looks like it's orange inside, maybe. Oh yeah, nice bright orange inside. So yeah, it's a decent sized bag, nice shawl size bag. Very pretty, a nice canvas bag. And then some tea. Add to my tea collection. And then this cute little notions case. The knitter's notions case. So it's got stitch markers, locking stitch markers, needle point protectors, scissors, needle holders or stitch holders, cable needles, ruler, a little thimble thingy. I don't know what that is. Darning needle. So yeah, that's really cool. I can always use more notions to, especially in little cases, to stick my bag, because I only have 1 pair of scissors. I finally got a second tape measure. So now I have 2 pairs of scissors and another tape measure, so I can actually start, if I have multiple projects going, I'm not searching for my notions case, so I can use my pair of scissors. And that was, and it's not it. And then these earrings, which if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen here, I'll take one out. No, in your face. She made these awesome earrings. So we have a little crocheted top. Stop rolling. We got a nice little turquoise bead and then a shell. So these are amazing, and has actually sparked my desire to wear earrings again, dangly earrings again. So now I will be on the lookout to be purchasing some more dangly earrings soon, because I think they look really good with the short hair. I don't know, I like them, so make me feel pretty. So thank you, Kim. Those were awesome. I love these. And I love everything else, and I'm looking forward to knitting up that yarn right away and using that bag. So lastly was a little, did I get anything else at Joann's? I bought some stuff at Joann's. I feel like I bought more than just this, but it wasn't anything exciting. So this was the exciting thing I found. It was one of those, clearance fabrics, 50% off, so it was like $2 for this thing, and it's a yard of cool pumpkins. So look at these kind of smiley jack-o'-lantern guys. So this will be fun to make a couple bags out of for Halloween. So yeah, can't beat that. Alright, so that's it for stash. Health and wellness. So like I said at the beginning, I am eating terrible. I'm trying, but not hard enough. Not really trying, to be honest, but I feel like I need to get a handle on one thing at a time. So I'm still really, I'm exercising regularly, but not regularly enough. It's like not scheduled. Like I'll miss too many days in a row, or I don't know. It's just I still don't feel like I got it under control. I'm still doing better than I was before, but I'm still not quite where I want to be. it just takes up a lot of time. I mean, that's kind of like the running joke. Like right now, it's like, okay, like we need to figure out how to craft and work out at the same time. Like how I've knit on the treadmill a couple times, but that's still kind of boring. And that's not really the exercise I want to do. Can't really knit while I'm kickboxing and karate. So, it's like I just have to suck it up and spend the time to work out because that's good for you and it's for my health. I'm getting older. I need to take care of myself. But I need to eat better too because they go hand in hand. And to be honest, eating better is really more important. A little more important. I mean, they're both important, but I'd say eating better is probably a little more important than working out. I mean, you really need both, but if you were really to pick one, probably eating better. It's also harder for me. It's easier for me to work out than it is to eat better. So I'm focusing right now on the workouts. So let's one thing at a time. Let me get comfortable in my workouts. I've been doing karate every Tuesday, which is great. I love it. And Instagram is where to find anything that's going on with me. I posted the other day that I got my yellow belt in karate. And I got that probably, I tested at the end of last month, or beginning of June. So June 3rd is when I tested. And so then, of course, I passed the test and got my belt like a week or two later. So I've had my belt for a few weeks, and hopefully I'll test for orange soon. The teacher mentioned maybe me and Emily could test together for orange in August. So if I could get Emily, I'd really like to get Emily into shape this month. I feel like she's close. But she needs to practice at home, and I would love to practice with her. I practiced with her yesterday, and it was a pain in the ass. Oh, pain in the butt. She doesn't want to do stuff at home. Same with getting her to read and write and stuff. She doesn't want to do it at home. She has fun when she's at school. She has fun when she's at karate, but as far as doing it at home, she doesn't want to do it. So kind of let her stay up instead of going into her room for quiet time and said, okay, if you want to skip quiet time, you have to do karate and you have to do some reading and writing stuff. And she did, but she definitely put up a fight with a lot of it. So, but I gotta keep on her because I really want her to test for orange by the end of the summer, and I want to test for my orange. And after that, Miss B, the teacher, said it gets a lot harder. Is when you get orange. Like there's a lot more involved things. You learn a whole new form. So especially for Emily, it'll be a little more challenging. Obviously, I'm pretty confident I'll get it, but it may still take me longer too. As far as the stuff for yellow that you need to know, it's very minor and very similar to what you needed to know to get to yellow, or what you need to know for orange. So, but it's going well. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I'm doing these 15-minute workouts, sometimes 30 if I'm doubling them up. But it's a 30-day plan. I stumbled across it on Facebook. She's called Betty Rocker, the Betty Rocker, whatever. She's fun. She's kind of this just upbeat kind of rock chick style. She's got a tattooed sleeve, dark black hair, but she's fit and she knows her stuff, and holy moly, she knows how to put together a 15-minute workout. So she just puts together like a series of, usually we do like 5 moves, I think 5 or 6 moves for like anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute each, and then you run through it 3 times. So depending on what the move is, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I burn 150 plus calories in 15 minutes and work up a good sweat. So it's better than nothing. And she sends me an email, or sends me an email for 30 days. So I've been doing that. Today is day 8, I think. So it's been a week. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. So I'm doing that. I'm doing karate. I'm trying to practice karate at home too, which again works up a sweat too. It's kind of funny, just those simple things that you do for karate, the kicks and the punches and stuff. It just, all of a sudden you're getting sore and tired. So, so it's working out. So that's it. Week in review, month in review, nothing. Like, I've been busy doing nothing. That's what I feel like. I mean, it's not really nothing, but the weekends have been kind of full of things. Father's Day, we went to the in-laws and did a whole thing there, and every weekend we seem to have something or another going on, but nothing particular. Emily finished up school Last week was the first official week of summer vacation, and she was sick. So we signed her up for day camp, and her schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And so come Tuesday, she had her first day of day camp, and it went well, and she had fun. She came home, or she came out of there, and she looked tired. But I'm like, okay, it's first day camp, you know, they probably knew people, knew whatever. So we went to karate afterwards, and she did karate. And then when she came home, she was just wiped. And then again, I just blamed it on whatever. Well, she woke up Wednesday and she had a fever. Like, okay, I guess you're not going to camp today, so we missed out on camp on Wednesday. Thursday, she still had a fever. Friday, she still had a fever. And she was miserable. I mean, she was just laying on the couch miserable. She had a headache. That's the only thing she complained about. She had a headache. So, you know, it's like I didn't really think to take her to the doctor. I figured it's just a little flu bug or something that's going to run its course. And, you know, each day she got a little better, but just not much. Saturday, she was, Sunday, you know, we went out and did a few things, and she was okay. By Sunday, she was actually remarkably better, but then her eye got pink. Like, she was getting kind of runny nose, and her eye was pink. I'm like, oh, great. It didn't look like pink eye, like goopy pink eye, but it was like, something was going on here, okay, because all of a sudden her eye's all red and watery. So Monday, we took her into the doctor. So we took her in the doctor, they checked everything, they checked her ears. I don't know if they looked in her throat. They must have. But I think maybe they looked in her ears first. Oh, she's got ear infection. Ear infection on one side, partial ear infection on the other side. So I don't even think they went any further and looked in our throat at that point. So antibiotics. And again, by then she was feeling better anyways. But we got the antibiotics, started those up, and she went back to camp this week on Tuesday, and it's fine. Tuesday, Wednesday, and she's there today. So Tuesday... So David's in school the same schedule, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So Tuesday, you know, fine. Wednesday, So Tuesday David was fine. We went and got Emily, and actually David did karate for the first time. He tried it. He seemed to like it, and he did alright, so that was exciting. So I might sign him up, but I don't know yet because he hasn't tried it. He needs to try it a couple times. So then Wednesday, he comes from school. I pick him up, and I walk in, and he's in his swimsuit because they were doing water activities outside. And he's kind of huddled down on the floor, waiting his turn to get changed. And he just looked kind of miserable. I'm like, are you okay? You know, and kind of give him a hug, and he feels warm, but I don't know, it didn't feel like super warm. So he goes in to get changed finally, and the teacher that was in there changing him, she's like, does he feel warm to you? I'm like, kind of, but it didn't feel like super warm. So again, and they were making sandwiches. They had sandwiches for lunch, and he didn't want to eat lunch. I'm like, okay, well maybe he just, you know, he doesn't like sandwiches. He really doesn't like sandwiches unless it's peanut butter and jelly. So I said, well, do you want to go to Panera? Take him out to lunch. I wanted to get lunch anyways. So we went to Panera, and he had like 2 or 3 bites of the soup, which he usually loves, you know, the broccoli cheddar soup. So I'm like, okay, this isn't good. So I took him home, and I took his temperature, and he's got a fever. Like, so of course, you know, he was tired, and he went right to bed for a nap, and I called the doctor. I said, okay, can we come in tomorrow? So Thursday morning, since the kids didn't have school, took him in the doctor, and he was actually, he still had a fever yesterday morning, but he was pretty upbeat. So we took him in the doctor. He has strep, and guess what? Emily probably had strep. But we didn't bring her in early enough, so by the time she came in, like the strep had gotten healed, and she got an ear infection instead. So he has strep, so I have a bazillion bottles of antibiotics in my fridge, and he still has I think I took his temperature today, it was 99, so it's going down. But I kept him home from school, of course. He's upstairs napping. He was pretty tired. We're supposed to hang out with in-laws this weekend, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm kind of just playing it day by day. Again, he's pretty normal-ish today. He still seems a little off, so I'm hoping tomorrow he'll feel better. And again, we just want to relax and stuff. I don't think we plan on doing much, but just hanging out. And he's not contagious anymore now that he's been on the antibiotics for 24 hours. He should be good to go. Emily loves the antibiotics. I remember hating them as a kid. David does not like them. So trying to get him to take them, he's been a good sport, but his face is just like, so. Today is my 10-year dating anniversary with my husband. So I think that's a big deal. I mean, it's not that he doesn't think it's a big deal, but you know, it's not the wedding anniversary, it's just our dating. But we've known each other, we've met each other, we started going out together for 10 years, so I'd say that's quite an accomplishment. It's been a very interesting journey with him. We've had very many ups and downs, and having kids definitely does not make things easy. Relationships in general are not easy. They're not always fun. They're not romantic movie-esque, you know. You get that for like a little bit, and then it's kind of the day in, the day out, same old with the same person, you know. It's like, it's a lot of work, so. But you know, we communicate pretty well, and when we don't, that's when troubles start. But I'm in it for the long haul, and I know he is too, and this year will be our 8th year of being married, so in November, so you know, I'd say we're doing pretty good. So that's all I got. So I hope everyone has a good 4th of July, and again, happy Canada Day to my Canadian viewers. Hopefully I'll see you next week. I don't know. I don't know what my plan is exactly, but I'm not giving up on this. I'm gonna keep plugging along, so whether it's every week or every 2 weeks, or whenever I have stuff to say, or so just tune in when you can, and I hope everyone has a good week, and I will see you next time. Hope you get to craft all the things. Bye.